This is T.Y. Jackson.
United States Women's Champion Chelsea Green.
How you doing, people?
And I love pro wrestling.
I love pro wrestling.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome to the Brunch Gimmick. I am Lawrence Kurtze. We are live. Another big week in wrestling, as yesterday was AEW Wrestle Dream.
Hi, I'm Maxine Dupree.
And I'm Otis.
Hi, I'm the Sweetest Pea, Christara.
Mars, the Specialist.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And we
love wrestling.
Bottoms up, brains on. Welcome to Quizplex here on Love Wrestling, your pro wrestling trivia charity show. My name is Zach Ralph. I will be your host.
This is God's gift to wrestling, Michael Richard Blaze.
Yeah, we are the Usos.
This is Rachel Ellering.
And we love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know what that means.
Well, you better know by now. It's episode 235 of this thing.
I guarantee you there's like an 85% chance that's not an accurate number.
Hi, this is Shaz McKenzie.
This is Big Bad Boris.
This is the Rhinestone Cowboy, Stephen Crow.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
If you're here, thanks for being here. It's for Exposure, Love Wrestling's Independent Weekend podcast, where we break down all the best happenings of the world of the independent wrestling side.
I'm Penta, I'm wrestling, and what?
Liza Hall.
I'm the alternative Anthony Green.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling. I love wrestling. And you know what? Pentacero.
That's called scatting, kids. It is 8 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It is time for a excitingly fun, I hope, episode of Saturday Night Love. My name is Big Bad Boris.
I'm Big Ben Ortmans.
Hi, this is Smiley Patty Ray.
I'm Sky.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Of course.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Start off with the biggest news of the week. The Rats lost!
If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey! The man with the finest beard on this screen. Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Listen between two beers.
Getting down.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know what that means. It is time for a new episode of Between Two Beers. Now, I know it looks a bit different. I'm usually with my main squeeze, Pluggo, across from me. But Pluggo is on assignment. He is at the South Bend Cubs minor league game tonight. It was wrestling night there with the Raw general manager, Adam Pearce. And Pluggo got the opportunity to do some media. So you might even be seeing a couple cool, badass things from Pluggo on these Love Wrestling airwaves soon. Potentially. But because Pluggo wasn't here, I made a few phone calls to a couple pals of mine. I called in the reinforcements, and I got the Ope-Eh three-way podcast with me. I got Pierce. I got Brandon. Donnie apparently is real now. He's returned. He's not here tonight, but he's returned. We've seen someone they called Donnie. I don't know if it is Donnie, but we've seen somebody they called
Wells said
Donnie.
he's real. So
a figment of artificial intelligence.
And I'm saying it. It's the first thing I'm saying tonight. First of all, JPJ, thank you for having us as always. But secondly, Pluggo's not here, so I'm going to say it. Donnie's real, and Pluggo, you got to get over it.
Pluggo's just being avoidant right now.
Yeah, he is. He dodged it. He dodged it. We'll also be being joined by our pal from the Kicking Out podcast, Shep. Austin Shepard will be joining us probably around 8:30, 8:45. Yeah. So we're gonna have ourselves a good old champagne jam, a good old party here tonight. We're gonna have we have the Ope-Eh three-way, but we're gonna have ourselves a four-way a little bit later this evening.
Love it.
You know, we'll dive into the stuff. Lots to talk about. Obviously, we're 10 days away officially from All In. Dynamite last night had some good stuff on there. A big angle at the end of the show to kind of really, really juice up the main event. But we will get there. We'll wait for Shep for the AEW talk. He is on a Kicking Out podcast Sunday nights over on the Main Event Network.
Gotta have KOP here for AEW talk.
Yes. So, but there is a lot of stuff on the WWE side of things. I thought Raw was pretty strong. I do want to dive into the stuff that happened there, but obviously the news of the day is one Ilya Dragunov as PW Insider, and then Fightful reiterated the PW Insider report that Ilya Dragunov has let his contract expire and he is departing WWE. Obviously, we can talk about, the dream matchups and I'm sure we'll dive into it amongst this conversation potentially. But to me, I mean, from what we saw at NXT UK and then brought over to this NXT, and I would even say I thoroughly enjoyed the run with the U.S. title with Carmelo Hayes when they were doing that over on SmackDown before they decided to make both those guys disappear for some reason. This guy was, to me, it was kind of a can't miss guy. Like, I watched him in NXT UK. I watched the stuff with him in, at the time, Walter, then transferred to Gunther in NXT over here. I mean, the guy was a can't miss guy. NXT champion, was feuded with any name you see on the main roster that has come up. They feuded. He had all these matches. This seemed like a can't miss guy to me, and it seemed like they called him up to the main roster. They gave him a little bit of a run, and then it was just he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just don't know how
immediately
this happens.
When he came back from being hurt, he becomes U.S. champ the night he comes back.
Yes,
and I don't want to say 5-tool player because Ilya is a good promo, but he's not a great promo. But like he's right there at that 5-tool player level. When you have a guy with that much just general physical charisma and can go in the ring with anybody and get a 4-star match out of him and brings out the best in everybody and is just like there. And you see him and you're like, oh, damn. Like he has an aura to him. And like his U.S. title reign was great. The Gunther matches when he was Walter are the stuff of legend now. And the fact we didn't get one on the main roster is just blasphemous. And I think it's going to be a pretty solid fumble for WWE, if I'm being 100% honest.
And obviously Brandon. I was literally like, I understand he hadn't been used, and it was kind of like, what are we doing with this guy? Like, but we've seen that happen before, and I was really just baffled when I was like, and now again, from what I am to understand, he chose not to re-sign. I think they wanted him to stay. And he said, no, I'm good, which you can't blame him if you're not using him to what he thinks and he knows his potential. It's just, I agree with Pierce. I think that, again, this guy could have easily just been a top guy for them at any point they wanted to do it. And it just feels like a massive mistake.
You know, easily
Well, yeah.
they could have had him win the Rumble this next year if they just put a world title on Gunther, and then you have a story right there.
Yeah,
like it would have been that simple.
I mean, the thing of it is that Ilya, I feel like, and when you talk about where he started NXT UK, he absolutely belonged in that environment because that was much more about like, and Brit wrestling was, pretty close to peaking at the time until, NXT UK kind of took all of your Noam Dars, like your Gunthers, your Coffees, your Gallus, I should say, by broader extension. It took a lot of what made like UK wrestling great and kind of just like took it for itself, and then just like, it disappeared a little while after. And I feel like Ilya was best represented within that environment, like, because he really is, in my mind, I don't know that he's necessarily like the most WWE of wrestlers. But that's not to say that what he does not belong on a main stage, on a big main stage, right? I mean, coming to NXT, like he had great matches. But then when he got to SmackDown, like still great stuff. US champion, terrific. Showcasing the mid card, helping to showcase along with Mello, right? Along with Sammy for that time. But yeah, could he have gone higher? Perhaps. I mean, I don't know. And people are talking about him going to like AEW as well. And the thing about it is like Ilya, great as though he is, I fear like he does deserve to be on a big stage. Absolutely. Like he has such an absolutely insane work rate, and he has such a presence for a guy who's not like, 6'6", 275 or whatever. But like, I would want to see Ilya somewhere where, and we've talked about this a little bit in chat over on the networks side of things, but like, I feel like if he were to go to say like an AEW after this, I feel like it still wouldn't do him justice because that roster as it stands like is just so absolutely bloated, and not just with guys who are already getting the pushes they deserve, but also with guys that are not getting that kind of a push, right? Like, I mean, yeah, Andrade is national champion as an example, right? But like, is that the best he can do? Is that the most he can, add up to? Probably not. But then he's got guys like Mox and Fletcher and, MJF and Ospreay and Swerve and Hangman and all those guys to kind of compete with too. I feel like, I've said maybe like an MLW kind of an environment would be pretty good for Ilya, for the fact that it's a company on the rise. It's a company that has its own kind of a vision. And I feel like Ilya would fit really good in somewhere like that. Granted, he wouldn't be exposed to quite as many people as like an AEW or a WWE, obviously. But it's still an environment where I could kind of foresee someone like Ilya Dragunov kind of continuing to build his reputation and continuing to show people what it is that they're missing out on larger stages, right? Like a WWE. Lots of really good potential matches there. Guys like, Cross, guys like Mads Kruger. Like, if you're not telling me that you would love to see a match between an Ilya Dragunov and a rude dude, Matt Riddle, like, that's huge in of itself right there. There's a lot of, so while like I will say that I'm sad to an extent that Ilya is just kind of taking the walk, I can understand it. The man needs feature, and he wasn't going to get that, unfortunately, somehow in WWE. And my fear is that he would absolutely not receive his just due in AEW either, because there's just way too much going on. So
it's fair. That's fair. I mean, AEW does have a stacked roster. Mm-hmm. Fernando in the chat is saying Bloodsport. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Dragunov perform in a Bloodsport, but if they ever were to bring that back, or or stick with it, or whatever. I know he said at the last show that was the last one, didn't he, or something like that for a while? Or
yeah, they're putting it on hiatus, and I think that was because of the WWE side of it, and it didn't draw as many eyeballs as they thought it would. I went to Bloodsport at WrestleMania 41 weekend, and I thought it was one of the best wrestling shows I've ever been to.
Oh yeah,
so like,
yeah,
Ilya in that environment would be good. If anything with AEW, I wouldn't say sign him right away. Put him at like number 4 in the Casino Gauntlet as just a surprise. Like give him that and just have him blow up, and then you don't have to sign him. If they want to sign him, great. I think maybe just put him in a feud with Ciampa right away. Like
I was gonna say, there were Kyle Fletcher, Ciampa, both tweeted just photos of like them in the ring with Dragunov today on Twitter. So, you know, I think Fletcher said his match was from 2019 and it was him and Dragunov, and then Ciampa just posted a match that they had in WWE of him getting chopped by Dragunov. So you could obviously, you know, they're going to do that to kind of, you know, have the internet buzz a swirling. And I'm sure guys that have fought that guy or know that guy, they're probably like, yeah, dude. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
like,
no
yeah,
brainer.
I know we have a lot of us that are here and big time stars for here now and the future, but like, yeah, dude, like that guy's, yeah. If you want someone good, get him. Scott says he would like him in Japan. I think a run in New Japan would be
that'd
good.
be a lot of fun.
I think that would be a lot of
Yeah, I
fun.
don't
He
think
could
it would be
really, yeah, and I think he could really like show up and automatically be at the top or right near the top of that roster, immediate, and just kind of, that would be a lot of fun. I saw some people say TNA out there. You know, everybody's going to say everywhere. Obviously, we live in a world where AEW is going to be mentioned. When somebody's leaving WWE, AEW is always going to be the first thing mentioned. We understand that. We've lived it before with WCW and WWF back in the day. We've lived this. That's just how it goes. It's number one. It's number two. That's how it's going to go. Obviously, if he showed up in AEW, there's a lot of him and Ospreay for the title and a fucking feud immediately would be. If he showed up at All In and took out Ospreay after he won the belt, okay,
yeah, big deal.
It wouldn't happen, but like that would be a huge. You know, that's a match everybody would be
Well,
like,
if it,
yes, please.
Let's say he wins the Casino Gauntlet, you can run that feud right away.
You know what I mean?
So,
like that would be. You know, there's a lot of guys everywhere.
If I'm a bet man, I'm going to say he's in the Casino Gauntlet, and I think putting him at number 3 would just be too obvious. So put him in at like a number 4 or a number 5, kind of how they ran the Casino Gauntlet 2 years ago at Wembley when they had Nigel come out at number 3, and then it was Zack Sabre Jr. Like it was just stacked to the gills.
Yeah,
so,
and then Ricochet too, wasn't it?
Okay. And Ricochet came out, I think, number 6.
Yeah. Ricochet should have won though, if you want my honest opinion. But Ricochet's it's Nigel.
It was Christian.
No,
it was
Christian. Yeah, Christian.
I understand why Christian won, but
absolutely. But I felled like Ricochet's debuting, just have him win.
Have him win and just have him instead.
He can lose that world title match, and that's okay. That's
Give me Ricochet versus Bryan Danielson at
that's perfectly
Bryan Danielson versus TNT champion Jack Perry.
Yeah, please. But yeah, so obviously that was kind of the news of the day on the WWE front was that. And again, he let his contract expire, which I believe means there is no non-compete. So he can go
if it's
wherever.
Expired as of today, then he's a free agent.
Yeah. So as long as it expires before All In, there is always that possibility, especially with it being over in Europe. Like I feel like there's always that possibility.
And I mean, he's on the alumni page already, so I would assume that it is just done.
Yeah, I don't think the news breaks today like it does if it wasn't official, kind of.
Right.
Even though WWE hasn't officially said anything, but
I think gonna.
Yeah. All right. I mean, we're getting notifications in the chat that football. Like, it's just a great time of year, guys.
It's the best time.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Football's starting. I probably should have led with the football. I know we got right into the wrestling talk, but football's coming. My team whooped the Eagles in practices the last couple of days. Bless.
Nice. Time of your fantasy league.
How we feeling about football? You guys ready for football?
Somewhat. I don't know how the Packers are going to do. I think we're going to do good, but I don't know if we're going to do as good as maybe expected. I hope Parsons is good to go at the start of the season. Vibes are up. We'll just see how it goes.
Yeah,
about the best we can hope for at this point. Like, yeah, we're not a complete crop of studs and superstars at this present point in time.
Still very young.
Yeah, we got a squad that we're still kind of repping. We're still kind of getting our reps in, I should say. Building a little stack. So, but I think we'll be a force to be reckoned with here in the next maybe year or two.
I do dislike the Jordan Love slander. I think he gets a lot of unnecessary hate. I'll say
he's not Rodgers. He's not Favre.
He's not Rodgers because nobody's going to be fucking Rodgers. Rodgers is Rodgers. He's
still Rodgers.
He's still Rodgers
when he wants to be.
But he's a combination of Rodgers and Favre, and he leans more on that Favre side. and I think that's a little more fun for as a Packers fan. But I will say this: if the Pittsburgh Steelers win the Super Bowl this year, I'm just going to laugh because Rodgers and McCarthy would win the Super Bowl together, and that would just be really, really funny.
Well, I can almost guarantee you that will not happen.
Probably not, but it would be funny.
But it'd be so funny.
The Steelers are what we call trash. But I'm a Patriots fan. I'm very biased. I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers. Screw the Pittsburgh Steelers. I will keep my Aaron Rodgers opinion for another time with you boys here.
As a person, you whatever, but like as a football player,
look at he's one of the all-time pricks in the history of the world.
Yeah,
in the history of the sport, one of the all-time pricks. It's not about that. He is probably the most talented thrower of the football I have ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
He should have won more than one.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that hurts. I think that to me, he's still without question, a top 10 guy. Without question, probably top 8, 6 maybe in the history. No, he's not. You can't be top 3 with one Super Bowl.
If we're talking just purely regular season,
to me, the unequivocal top 3 are Brady 1. I put Elway 2, and then I have Montana 3. Those 3 never move for me.
Are we talking purely quarterbacks?
I'm talking all of it.
Because number 2 should probably be Jerry Rice.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking just quarterbacks.
If we're talking just quarterbacks, to me, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest of all time. I'm biased in that opinion, but when you look at the way he throws the ball, nobody is able to put it like Aaron Rodgers. He has the way he just gets Hail Marys and just throws it up, and then it's just perfectly in place. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I would say like again, talent wise and thrower of the football, sure. He can't in my opinion, he should have had 3. He should have had 3, and he had 1. And I think, and again, it's not just on the one person, but yeah, I don't know. To me, I was like, those Packers teams were so good, really good. And yeah, I also don't think, and again, you might think differently. I like your guy now, LaFleur. I don't think McCarthy is a good coach. So I've never kind of viewed him as he's fine, I guess.
He's got his road. That's the way that's the way we as Packer fans, but he has a road. So
so I guess maybe if he had a better coach, I guess Rod. I don't know. I just feel like he was so talented and so good that he just should have had more than 1.
Yeah, the biggest thing
if Eli Manning can get 2, you need to fucking have 2.
The biggest thing was our defenses. Our defenses were always. We had one good defense in the 18 years he was there.
Yeah,
we had a bit of holes in our O-line at times too when we were trying to chase
consistently.
Yeah. So unbelievable, but
one man can't run the squad.
That's true, unless that man is Tom Brady. And that's why he's.
Oh, he had his fair share of support too.
That's yeah. Of course,
greatest,
barely or otherwise.
Football.
Yes, that as well. He had quite a handicap.
He did.
In a positive sense. In a positive.
Well, you never. They did some things. Are you guys big college football guys? Do you root for?
The Badgers are consistently bad, and that's how my life has been entire. Even when we were good, it was get close and then immediately lose the bowl game.
I feel like when I was younger, they always hung around. They were always good enough that they were in the discussion most of the time. When I was younger, and then I feel like the last handful of years to a decade, they've kind of just been middle. I don't think they've been terrible, but they're middling, I guess.
We had a lot of system quarterbacks that worked in our favor, and of course, running back was a thing, and then of course our O-line was always stacked. But past 6 years, it's just been shit.
Yeah.
We're a consistent feature. We're in talks, we're creeping up on stuff, and then just the floor just kind of falls off from underneath. I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where we're just gonna get a random year, kind of with Indiana, just kind of waiting, and then Kyle's living his best life being a fucking Hoosiers fan right now, just soaking that all in. But maybe we'll get our turn. One of these days we get a solid draft class, solid solid crew, kind of coaching everything through.
That happens. I'll add to my Bucks tattoo, but I doubt it does.
There we go.
Well, I mean, speaking of the Bucks too, right? Same shit. Like it's you had greatness and Giannis we had there for a while. We had a lot of great stuff going on, but we never quite, and then like shoot it up, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, where we go? But
the Bucks took swings. They did what they needed to do in the swing. They just struck out. Like that's not on them at all. And
right.
I think what we got in return for
look, you got a champion. Yeah, you got a championship from Giannis.
Yeah, we got a championship.
50 years
and
after.
We got return in the trade. Like we got a lot of upside in Milwaukee. So like this year, I expect to be a little down. Maybe we get a play-in spot, but like give it 2-3 years, we'll be back where we need to be.
I hope so.
We'll see.
Crossing fingers.
My team, much like your team, my team also traded a top 10 player in the league. For you, at least got decent players. I'm not a big hero guy, but other than that,
he's a Milwaukee boy.
I like Hero, but I don't think he can be your number one guy. That's like he needs to be your second good, like a lower second good three to me. Like he's a good player. He can't be. If he's your one, you're not good enough.
He's that consistent all NBA third team at best. Yeah. And that's kind of what we need in a guard spot. And then we got the guard that we drafted, which you'll take a little. He could probably go in right away. But the guy that we picked up
for sure
at 13 or whatever. Oh my God, that's just Giannis light right now. So give him some time, let him bulk up. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. You call him that. It's a lot of pressure. You call him that.
Well, look at Giannis when he was first drafted.
I know
people were saying that was Kevin Durant light. Like they said his draft, he was like Kevin Durant, then bulked up and off to the races.
Yep. All right. Monday Night Raw. Obviously, all right. First of all, that Buffalo crowd, terrific crowd. They were so loud when Rey Mysterio hit that 619 on Chad Gable that I was like,
standing. Everyone's up on their damn feet.
But as I was watching, I was like, they're gonna boo when Gable wins. Like they're not gonna be. They want Rey to win. Like they really want Rey to win. And I understand how this is going to go, and it went the way that we all knew it would go. And then, you get the big put over and all that stuff. Like, that's how it was going to go. But I was like, this crowd is at a fever pitch for Rey here. Like, this could not go the way they want because they could be legitimately disappointed if Rey doesn't win, and he's not going to. But that crowd was going nuts for Rey.
Could throw that match in the match of the year contender. I mean, the match of the year is pretty much locked at this point. I don't know if maybe the main event of All In could beat it, but like right now it's mask versus mask and nothing's touching it. But like that for like TV match of the year is definitely up there.
TV match, absolutely.
I thought as a whole, and we're gonna obviously the ending segment and all that stuff. I thought as a whole, this was one of the better in-ring Raws in a decent while. I thought there was strong. I thought Javon Evans. I thought Javon Evans and oh my God,
JD.
Yeah, great match to showcase that. The Rey Fenix and El Fiscal was awesome. Was awesome.
That was some good lucha things.
The lucha stuff on this show, and I think I tweeted on Monday. I was like, you can have these AAA guys show up every Monday if you want. Like, I'm totally all right with that. If you want to throw them in, it gave me vibes of when Nitro would have the cruiserweights. That's what I felt like when I was watching the AAA guys. I was like, this is just cool. They just got guys from other places coming in and having 2 15-minute banger matches. All right, let's do that more often. It's a 2.5-hour show. We can do that. Like we should do that.
Fun.
I thought pacing wise. Obviously, still, we all know too many ads, too many commercials. That bullshit is just that's just coming with it, right?
So
not great, but
right
it's we all know that. But I thought pacing wise, the amount of wrestling on the show compared to I thought this was the most even Raw, and just I just thought it was a really good Raw. I loved both AAA matches were really good. Lyra Valkyria and Sol Ruka had a real good one. Me and Pierce were talking a little bit off. We both agree. I thought it would have benefited Lyra more to win that match, but I get completely.
And I don't think it
with a
hurts the Lyra character. I don't think it
with a
hurts the
heel
character
champion, you're gonna have a babyface contender. Heel
Yes.
versus heel matches very rarely work unless it makes sense, and that wouldn't
Mhm.
have made sense. But I understand why Lyra lost, but I think it would have done better if she won.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely want to get Lyra established again, right? Like, she doesn't have Bailey to bounce off of anymore. Soul, I think, is just going to be a fixture on TV, regardless of how her matches go, right? I think they got something with her that they just want to keep on the screen. But to that effect, too, I feel like in a loss here, Lyra's not exactly losing. I feel like now we got October coming up, and I know, Pierce, you're sweet on
Pluggo
Roxanne
Donnie's
for-
real. Wells said it. That's why I'm repping his merch.
Oh, is that what's going on? Oh,
Pluggo had. He said it's an actual Ope-Eh three-way for once. Hashtag Donnie ain't real.
But Donnie is real, and you gotta deal with it, buddy.
Damn.
Yeah, this is a new era. We're turning a new chapter in this book here, Pluggo. We gotta start to do some acknowledgement.
Yeah.
But I know you're sweet on Roxanne Perez as a favorite for Money in the Bank, Pierce, and I've kind of juggled this around in my head, and maybe I didn't say so when last we talked about the subject, but I feel like Lyra has as strong a chance as any woman on the roster, both Raw and SmackDown, to be the next Miss Money in the Bank. I feel like her character, it fits her well. I feel like, she's done well. I don't know what it really gains her to continue to chase the Intercontinental Championship at this point. I would
agree with that. I think the heir apparent is Roxanne Perez. I think you got the right dark horse. I think the standout of the match should probably be Soul. Like that.
Well, Soul's going to do some
three
crazy
are going
shit.
to be in that match, and then maybe they have like a Charlotte Flair as the established big name star, and then probably Jake Gill, and then whoever the sixth person will be. It could be realistically anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I love Lyra Valkyria. She's been one of my favorites in the women's roster since she was in that IC run with Becky and all that stuff. I think, pound for pound, she's one of the best technicians and just one of the better in-ring person in the whole company. I think she's doesn't really have bad matches at all. I'm digging so far what I'm seeing from the new character from her. But I would like her to see her, like, again, I understand and totally, Soul's a star. So I understand. And I'm not, it makes sense. Duh. But I would like to see Lyra actually get some momentum more than just the character change and win some matches and kind of do something that way. I think for sure, she should be kind of a shoe-in to at least be in the Money in the Bank match for sure. I would be okay with that. I would be more than okay with that.
For me, I'm just hard pressed to bet against Roxanne at this point.
That's fair. And I think the story with Liv, if she has the briefcase and Liv is the champion, that's writes itself. So
and Raquel too, right? She's got two champions within her stable, and she's got nothing. So, but then when she's get the briefcase, she can take whatever she wants, and you drive the paranoia factor up, and Roxanne's
let's back up on that. If she cashes in on Raquel, there's
there'd be something wrong if she were cashing in on Raquel in a number of ways, right? But categorically, she's a threat to both. If she really wanted to, she could pull the trigger on either one. And I don't know what would we'd have to see building up to that what would cause that kind of specific dynamic. I don't see any ill will with Raquel towards with Roxanne towards Raquel, I should say. I could definitely see, the condescension of Liv towards Roxanne to be a driving factor.
If I were to armchair book this, I don't think she can. I think her cashing on Liv is a little too obvious. I would say have Stephanie or Becky beat Liv, and then she cashes in on one of them after the match, and then Monday you get a run back of Randy Orton winning the title, and she's on Raquel's shoulders, and that's how you do that.
Wouldn't be bad.
Yeah,
wouldn't be
longer than a month's reign, preferably though.
Yeah, that would be okay. Randy, I think that Randy Orton guy turned out all right though.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he ended up okay. Dustin in the chat is saying chances of AJ Lee returning for Money in the Bank. It didn't sound like it. I think the real really the heartbreak of it all is I think AJ Lee was going to return and team up with Paige to fight the Bellas, but Brie got hurt. So I think that was really the heartbreak of Brie getting injured. Obviously, besides her getting injured, it stinks when anybody gets injured. But like, I do think that if there was going to be an AJ Lee comeback, it was going to be to team with Paige,
right?
And kind of have that Paige and AJ Lee versus the Bellas kind of thing, which would have been a marquee
everybody
match
is
for
just off TV.
Which is you can still do the Nikki and Paige thing. Why can't they do a one-on-one Nikki and Paige thing? I understand that, and once Brie is recovered enough, she can like be there if she's healthy. Like, you know, she could be there on the outside, being menaced.
To Mania now, I'm fine with it because that I guess would make sense. They've had that match at Mania before, so it harkens back to 12 years ago, and it's just very odd because like they should be doing it, just running that as a singles, and then you can keep it going for a while, maybe have one match, keep it going for a couple pay-per-views, then stop it, and then maybe bring it back at the Rumble with Brie coming back.
Yeah.
And then you just bring it back, and I think that would be fine. Oh, what happened to my camera?
Wow.
Oh, no. Uh-oh, someone attacked him. Someone attacked Pierce. It's going to turn back on, and Pierce is going to be laid out, and there's just going to be someone standing there.
He's going to be juiced out.
Shep. We're going to be like, damn!
Razor blade marks above his eyebrows.
Yeah. Shep just showed up, so we add Shep to the program. Shep is here. Shep is here. Oh, how you know?
How you know?
How you
How
know?
do you know?
How we doing tonight, bro?
I guess Shep fixed it.
Yeah, Shep fixed it.
Shep the Magic Man.
Yeah, Shep is here. We're talking a little WWE currently, and then we'll be switching over and diving into the AEW stuff in a little bit. But we're talking a little Raw and kind of just going down that rabbit hole and things like that. But how you doing, buddy?
Good. Thanks for asking me to join tonight. I know Pluggo's out, and you thought of Shep. I mean, I was in the middle of golf league, ran home, hopped on here. You know,
how we do? How do we hit him?
Nah, I bogeyed the last two holes to shoot 38. Not real happy. That's all right.
Good.
That's all right.
It's always next time.
Yeah.
It's always next time. And I get to pad my handicap a little bit.
That's fair. That is fair. That's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it. 38, dude. That'd be like 6 holes for me. But you know, we tried. Yeah. So yeah, we were talking about Raw. We talked about all the in-ring stuff that happened on Raw, but I also thought we got some decent promo segments on Raw this week as well. Obviously, the main event segment with the Bloodline. So last week on Raw, Solo has that moment with Jay when he ducks the warning shot, and everybody all right up there, and it pops, and he has this big moment. They have that match. Jay beats him, and Solo has to rejoin the Bloodline.
I got so sad when that happened.
I was like, don't. And I was kind of in my brain, I'm like, he's not going to join. He has so much momentum. He's not going to join. Something's going to happen. So then you see throughout the night, the Usos they're feeling good. He's there. Solo's walking with them. They run into Jacob. They run into a bunch of other people. They're like, yeah, he's in. We get to the segment. We get out there, and they pass LA Knight at one point as well. And Solo and LA Knight kind of look at each other, and he's like, I got to do what I got to do, whatever. And LA Knight's like, okay. And then we get to this ending sequence. It's just Roman comes out. Obviously, he does his shtick. Buffalo, acknowledge me, all that stuff. He's like, he goes, I could sit here all night, tell you, but just bring me Solo. They come out, Usos, they're dancing, they're smiling. Solo's with them. They get in the ring. And Reigns starts giving him the business a little bit. He says he's a blessed man. He has everything he can imagine, all this stuff. But how could you not want to be with your family?
I do want to say he said 3 years ago you were supposed to acknowledge me, and that was a year and a half ago.
It was.
Come on.
To be fair,
Roman takes so much. He takes so much time off that he doesn't. He doesn't. I'm kidding.
Off the equilibrium.
Yeah. I was gonna say they haven't been on Netflix for 3 years. So
no.
that was kind of.
It was like it's definitely been it's like a year and a half at most.
Yeah. But Roman plays a video of the tribal combat, all that stuff. They go back into it. Reigns kind of takes his sunglasses off and he kind of like steps on them, and he's really this was again. I have always thought that Roman Reigns has been a heel ever since he's come back. He hasn't changed a damn thing at all.
I need the tribal apology.
Yes, he has not apologized. He's been the same jerk for 6 years. He's been this guy. But he was really leaning into, like, he was a full-blown heel in this segment tonight. Or on Raw, I'm sorry.
There were some boos, too, which I was kind of shocked.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess Solo's work over the past month has just been amazing.
Listen, man, and I think it went to another level here. So it looks like they're going to beat down Solo and all that stuff. They start, LA Knight comes out. He hits the ring. He takes out the Usos. He gets back in the ring. Roman and Jacob are there. Fatu attacks LA Knight, and then Roman yells at Jacob. This is the piece of it. I know everyone's focused on Solo, which they should be. But the piece with Jacob is the most intriguing part about all of this, to me, at least. But Jacob starts attacking Solo, and Roman gets on Jacob and says, "What did I tell you? Don't attack him. Don't touch him. You leave him for me." And they all set up LA Knight, and Roman does the thing where he goes to Solo and he goes, "I'm not going to take this guy out. You're going to take this guy out. You're going to prove to me right now that you're a part of this family, you're a part of the bloodline, and you're going to take him out." And Solo kind of grabs LA Knight and he's like, I'm sorry. Like he's really leaning into it. He goes back, he does his yell for the spike, and he turns and he spikes Roman. And that fucking place exploded.
Yeah.
That pop was gigantic. They were chanting his name, Solo, Solo, Solo. And it felt like I was watching it and I was like, this is a brand new top. Like, this is a top guy.
Yeah.
This is a top guy.
Well, it had a lot of the vibe of when Sammy turned on him at the Rumble.
Yes.
It was almost like it fucked with the sound a little bit. Like it came through loud and clear, but like it was fuzzy because it's just, you figure in the arena, like it was probably just so fucking just voluminous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, to your point, I think people are ready for a new star in Solo. Like we've been saying it for, I think me and Pierce, we've been saying it for months. Like you gotta take swings and you gotta take chances. And I feel like this was the swing they needed to take on Solo Sikoa. And it was starting to look like they might not do it. It was starting to look like they might just kind of tuck him in the back corner there with Jacob, and just have your nice little collection or whatever. But Solo Dolo rings through, man. Like I'm so excited to see. I'm hoping they stay the course with this. Like I'm hoping we can stay Solo Dolo. Maybe leading into War Games, maybe something building towards that can be intriguing.
Yeah.
A lot of ideas, a lot of theories floating around in my head. I'll save those for another day. But yeah, no, I'm absolutely stoked to see that they actually went ahead and went with the people. Get some Solo Dolo up in that biz.
Yeah. So he does that, and then LA Knight breaks away. He takes out the Usos with Solo. They're taking them out. And then Jacob is just standing in the corner. He's not helping anybody. Just standing in the corner. Roman ends up taking a BFT in this. So Roman really gets his comeuppance more than once in this segment. He really, it's very rare that Roman gets kind of that treatment, but he gets that. And now we got this like buddy cop, this buddy duo here of Solo Sikoa and LA Knight. And the whole time, and the scene ends with LA Knight turns around and Jacob is right there. And Solo's right there, and Jacob does not attack. He doesn't do anything. He just stands there and lets these two guys walk away.
He did
when they got the best of everybody. Yes.
Twice.
But I'm very intrigued by that because that is creating a dynamic there, Shep, between Jacob and the Usos have kind of not been, or at least Jacob and Jay have not been seeing eye to eye here, and that's been very apparent that there is an issue there. But I think that now, even though he was listening to Roman, and that's what he'll say, Roman ain't going to be jiving with that either.
Are they setting this up for Solo and Roman to be at Survivor Series? Are we planning that far in advance?
Like
think
on
so.
on separate War Games
I would
teams? Like
think.
those are the War Games captains? Probably.
Yeah.
I could
I
see
think so.
Jacob Fatu by that point, though, going with Solo.
By that point, yeah, for sure.
Which you
I could
should.
see-
I think you have
Jacob could
3.
be-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got 3 on each team at that point. You got
I do
the
want
OG
to point out
Bloodline.
from last week's Raw. Brandon, go ahead. I'll finish. You finish your point.
Well, no, I was saying you got your OG Bloodline already, which your Roman, your Jimmy, your Jay, and then you got Solo, Jacob, who are like basically like Usos, right? Like, I mean, their dads were twins, so you don't get too much closer in that. And then
Zilla.
obviously LA Knight.
Yeah, and you could, and by that point you could do Zilla.
You
just
got
showed
Zilla.
up.
Awesome.
You
Yeah,
could
maybe
do,
like a one night only thing.
and you could just have you
Like
could have
Kevin
the
Owens.
Fatus. Yeah, like the Fatus together with Jacob Fatu, Zilla Fatu. You got like LA Knight is the buddy of the group. I mean, it does seem like they might be going that way, Shep. So
I mean, I caught. I mean, I didn't watch the whole show. Caught the tidbit. I thought that was great. I thought Solo really, really elevated himself there, and put himself on a little bit different level than what we've seen him as. Yeah, and like I said, I don't watch all of it, but I watched that segment. It was good, and it elevated him, so it did its job.
yeah, I thought so. Solo's been doing really, really lights out work for the last month and a half. And he's gotten
amazing. Like,
yeah,
he's been.
Go ahead.
They've had him as a baby face in waiting for so long, and like he's had moments the past 2 years of just being fucking hysterical. Like him and Money in the Bank last year, where he was like all the guys. He's like, yeah, hey, night. And he's like, Sarah, Mayo, yeah. He's looking at Andrade, and then he just beat the crap out of him. Like, it's all been great. And now they put him on that face side, and it's just like Rocky Maivia to The Rock. Like, that's how good of a change this has been so far.
Yeah, it's been really good, and the crowd is obviously really into it, really buying him as this character, as this baby face, and it makes you think, like, why did we wait a year and a half to let this guy talk? Why was he not talking for as long as he wasn't talking? But I thought that was really good. And then obviously the other big news that came out of Raw is official for Sunday night's main event. We are getting Braun Breaker versus Ope-Eh. And Paul, Paul Heyman comes out. He kind of puts a little bit of doubt. Well, the thing that I liked about the segment is Oba comes out, calls out Braun Breaker. He does a Braun Breaker impression that I thought was actually kind
hilarious.
of funny. Yeah, very funny. And then Paul comes out and he says, we're not doing that. They wanted to fight on Monday. And Paul Heyman, being the businessman he is like, are you guys crazy? We don't fight for free a match of this magnitude. Sunday night's main event. He shakes Braun Breaker's hand. Braun is feeling good about himself. He leaves. He turns around and he sees Paul Heyman also shake Oba-Femi's hand. And Braun did not like that at all. And you could tell that immediately fucked with his head. And that is going to be the story of Braun Breaker continuing to be paranoid about, people called me the future, and now everyone's saying Oba's the future, and now my guy might be with him and all this stuff. And that's kind of the angle they're leading in with this.
So what you're saying is we need a Paul Heyman on a pole match.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
Or
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
I'm gonna tell you this about it though. I don't know how many new managers are coming into the game nowadays because I feel like there's somewhat of a shortage, which is unfortunate. But if there's any new managers that are gonna be coming forward, that as a prime piece, but they need to watch Paul Heyman content on repeat because what he did with Braun and Oba out there was absolutely masterful. Just in the body language and in the narrative that he's spouting out, where he's talking about how there are two people who understand what it means to be box office, and somebody looking at Oba seems to be learning. But in doing that, that's not him saying that Oba needs to learn. That's him acknowledging that Oba understands and subtly saying kind of through the side of his mouth that Braun Breaker needs to figure his shit out. And this is why Braun Breaker is not considered the future of the business the way that Oba-Femi is right now. And it does well to really put a lot of attention and intrigue on both guys that he's effectively servicing in this feud right now. Not directly so necessarily. He's not directly affiliated with Braun Breaker. He's not explicitly affiliated with Ope-Eh, but he's doing both guys such huge favors in this build, both directly and like indirectly through, building the match itself, obviously, but also just these interactions and just the little nuances and Braun's jealousy and Oba's respect for Paul Heyman, in spite of the fact that Oba's a face. And Paul's been a heel manager forever. I can't remember the last time Paul ever managed a face. I can't remember the last time Paul was like explicitly a face, but
2015, after Mania 31, there was like a 4-month window of Brock Lesnar as a face. And that was probably the last time, besides Brock Lesnar in 2022, but Paul Heyman was not needed for that Brock Lesnar specifically.
Yeah.
So,
But then too, was Brock explicitly a face, or was he just kind of over with the crowd? Like, were they just happy to see Brock?
He was explicitly a face. He was the number one baby face on Raw at the time because Seth was the champion and he was the sniveling heel. He cheated him out of the title and wanted to see Seth get his comeuppance, and Brock Lesnar was probably the best guy to do that.
Yeah.
Is it too early to say WrestleMania main event 2028 is going to be Ope-Eh and
Roman?
No, hold on.
Braun Breaker?
Braun Breaker, sorry. I wanted to call him Steiner. I'm just saying, I think if they stay the course, that's got to be a main event in 2028. Maybe it might be night 1, but could very possibly be night 2.
That should be the projected main event for that Mania, because this match is not going to end clean. I assume a Bronson Reed appearance will happen, and Braun also does need to win, because Oba can take a disputed loss, and then you can keep Oba and Bronson together for a while, but keep Oba and Braun separated. So then you keep them separated for a year and bring it back with, I'm going to say Braun is a heel champ and Oba winning the Rumble.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I mean, I think, if you're going to this match this early, because again, this is a match that I think everybody is excited for. This is these are the top 2 guys of the future, I think, in the company, and if you're going this early, it's a preview of a bigger thing down the line, in my opinion. Like, this is just going to be a taste. Like, hey, here's a taste of the feud that these guys are going to be feuding with each other for the next decade. Here's a small, quick taste of it. You know what I mean? Bronson Reed, if you've seen the pictures that have been posted on social media, is looking ridiculously. Yeah, he looks ridiculous. There was footage today of him even walking into the headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. So it feels like a return of his is imminent. I would think, like Pierce just said, he's going to return in this match and give Braun the victory by taking out Oba. And then you just kind of do, although the reports are saying that Bronson Reed is going to be getting a main level heel push, like main event level heel push upon his return. So who knows where that kind of guides him, but it feels perfect for him to come back. And then, yeah, I would agree. One of these guys wins the Rumble. The other is the champion heading into Mania. And there we go. I mean, it should be. You want to do your Punk or your Cody or your veteran type guys there. Okay, that can be your night 2 if you want to do that, but it feels like these guys should be involved, at least one of them. But both of them ideally against each other. But
and another off topic, because I quit listening to Busted Open when they switched. A little butthurt about it, but whatever. I had a 6-hour drive.
Everything will stay the same.
Yes. Thank you for the air quotes, by the way, Pierce. I appreciate that. But I had a 6-hour drive on a car deal that I did, and the only radio that came in, they left their XM radio on for me, so I listened to it. And it wasn't even Busted Open. It was Sam Roberts. And Sam Roberts went on a hour-long fantasy booking. And the more I listened to it, the more I liked it, is Cody needs to turn heel and become a Paul Heyman guy. And, I mean, he had 15 to 20 points of why this made sense. And by the by the end of the hour rant, I bought in. I'm buying in, and I think it works.
Listen, I thought Cody should have turned heel in the match with Punk.
Oh,
but obviously, the Randy situation is a good way to get around Cody turning heel with Randy return. If Cody didn't want to do it or they didn't want Cody to do it, a good way to get around it was the way that it happened with Randy and all that stuff. I thought one of those two guys should have turned heel, and it should have been Cody.
I thought it would have been Punk.
That probably would have been the safer choice, but I just feel like Cody needs it. Cody needs it to me.
I love Cody to come out with black hair, dye that hair back jet black, and come out with Paul Heyman. I think it works. I mean, Sam Roberts, he's a goofball, but I mean, he had me eating out of the palm of his hand. Now, I was in the middle of I-70 from St. Louis to Indianapolis, and I was bored to my mind. That's all I had. That's all I had was me and Sam Roberts in the car. But I'm like, holy shit! After an hour of this, he makes sense. I'm in.
Yeah.
Well, and that's well and good too. But like at the same time, I feel like people got Cody fatigue with like, and it's weird because you would think that faces being in the chase, you know, you wouldn't see them as champ quite as much. But Cody's already got within, you know, the couple of years that he's been back, he's got 3 WWE championship reigns to his credit now, and one's been a year. So you think as a heel, especially with a guy like Paul Heyman at his back, like how long is it before people are like, well, it doesn't make any fucking sense for Cody not to be the champion at this point. And like, I mean, I guess, you know, you can have him switch shows, but then he's going up against Roman and people got their opinions about that too.
No, don't have him switch shows at all. Raw right now is for the younger talent and SmackDown's for the more established main event talent. Keep that
which is weird because it was the inverse before.
It was the inverse before because Roman was on the Bloodline. The reason why SmackDown is so top heavy now, and you look at the guys specifically at the top of SmackDown, they're all guys that have already lost to Roman. And Roman's on Raw. Like, you know what I mean? Like they moved Jacob over there. They moved Solo over there. They moved LA Knight over there. And then you got you got Penta, you got the young guys, you got Oba, you got Braun, you got Javon, you got the fresh guys over here. And SmackDown is Cody, Randy, Punk, Kevin Owens, Gunther, Sami Zayn. You got all studs, but they can't be on Raw because Roman's the guy on Raw, and you can't just feed those guys again to Roman. So the Bloodline kind of takes over everything that happens on whatever show they're on. So all these other guys need to be over on SmackDown. So you have you know what I mean? Like that's kind of SmackDown is way more top heavy. I think, you know, but I agree. I think Raw is, I think Roman's job for as long as he's champion, I think Roman's job for the next year and a half on Raw is to produce new main event stars. Because if they are just in the ring with him, they are at a different, you know, like Oba will be the guy to beat him. I think Oba will be the one they choose to beat him. But Javon Evans getting a one-off championship match in the next year and having a market, incredible. And he won't win that match at all. But just him being in that ring with Roman will solidify that this guy is a main event guy. That is what Roman's job. Yeah, like that would be perfect.
Well, people keep calling him.
Yeah.
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's to me, even with Roman probably being champion at least till Mania, I would assume. I think that's what his job should be for the next foreseeable bit here on Raw is you need to establish these young guys as like more than just everybody knows they're the future, but like you need to help us make them the like no doubt future. And now
absolutely.
Here. So
well, and it's funny too that you mentioned that being Roman's job. It makes me think because it's almost analogous to like what Taker was back in like what was it from like 02 to 03, something like that. Like when I think of Javon Evans as like Jeff Hardy in that situation, right?
I was there.
Roman Reigns up on Raw doing his thing, running the roost, and then you have a guy like Javon Evans who's going to come and try and take his ass to the limit, Roman's going to overlook him. Roman's not going to think much of him because he's just bouncy and shit. But I mean, you look at what Javon's done with Oba. Look at the work that he's put in. He's one of those guys who you can put up against an absolute fucking juggernaut, and he can make you believe that he's just going to upset the whole thing. He's going to tip the whole fucking thing over. And I mean, will he beat Randy Orton's record? I know he wants to. I know that's a goal. Will he do it? Maybe. I mean, he's going to have a lot of really standout matches in the meantime. I can tell you that for sure. I think, and to your point, I feel like he's already had a lot of good matches with Jacob. I think Jacob being in the Bloodline at first, I thought was going to be a detriment by and large, but I think it's actually building Jacob's stock a lot, and he still looks very fucking dangerous, even though he's surrounded by
right now, and it's doing great work for him. Like, I want to talk about last week on Raw, where they had that little face-off with LA Knight, where LA Knight was like, "Oh, wrong guy." He's like, "No, right guy," and then he immediately went back into the old, yeah, I mean, all gas, no brakes with it. The crowd was insanely hot for that, so they got to pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah,
as soon as that turn happens again, and we get back to face Werewolf, it's going to be. I still think he should have won the title, WWE title,
I agree.
Mania this year. So, like,
I thought Jacob should have beat Roman in one of those matches.
I agree too.
I thought Jacob should have just beat Roman. You could have put it on Roman he didn't need to hold it forever, but I think the crowd, he was so hot, the crowd still wants to cheer for Jacob. When he shows up in those backstage segments, he gets a pop. He doesn't get the same kind of reaction the other Bloodline guys get. He gets a pop in a different way. I think he should have won. I mean, again, I would have booked the whole thing differently, especially now Roman's a heel now again, so it doesn't matter. But I would have had the Usos turn on Roman and join Jacob, and Jacob win the title. And then Roman is a pure babyface chasing after the title. And you could have, and then that's kind of what you could have done there if you want to do something different. But either way, that's whatever. But
I mean, Roman was a baby face when he came. I'll say this. I would agree he's been mainly a heel for the past 2 years. After he lost the title, he came back, attacked Solo. I would say that was somewhat of a face turn. And then you could maybe say until when he was using that off-brand head of the table theme, he was still pretty much a face. As soon as head of the table came back, you knew, like, oh,
it was
shit.
Over.
Like, Tribal Chief.
It was over.
Yeah. We got a couple questions in the chat before we kind of switch over and talk some AE-dub.
AE-dub?
Yeah. Eric asks, do you think that we see Solo potentially getting a world title run at some point?
At some point, absolutely.
I could see it.
I would think now that it felt like they absolutely elevated him on Monday night. That's what it felt like to me. And yeah, I could see it. I could see it happening. And then Dustin says, off topic, but do you guys think there's any chance that Kevin Owens wins tomorrow night against CM Punk?
He should.
I think he absolutely should. I think he absolutely should.
Donnie's gonna be there. So maybe
I don't know if he will. But I think that he absolutely should. And and that's been something weird because that has also been CM Punk and his verbiage and stuff. Like, he's been leaning into the bad. When you make fun of somebody's weight, you're the bad guy. That's just an easy, and I know he's playing the tweener stuff, obviously. But to me, CM Punk has been the heel in this situation with Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
He's, not taking Kevin Owens seriously for the most part. He's using the weight thing and all that stuff and blah, 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 which, again, I don't care that he's using his weight. He's a bad guy, or he's acting like a bad guy. Bad guys say bad shit, guys. It happens.
It's also just hearkening back to their original real-life feud from 20 years ago. So, like...
Correct. I get it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it also harkens to, and it's not just because he called him a bum, but it also harkens back to when Punk came back himself in AEW in his feud with Eddie Kingston. Same shit, but I mean, it's crazy. But like for different reasons, like, I mean, you call Eddie fat, you call Eddie a bum, you're more likely to get away with it, you're more likely to be understood, I feel personally, than, especially given recent evidence, than Kevin Owens, right? And to the point of Kevin Owens being a champion again, I mean, the fact that he's coming back after easily a career-threatening injury, and he's doing swantons and shit, and he feels confident in his work to where he's doing that, and he's got, throwing caution to the wind. We don't know how long we're going to have Kevin Owens around yet. I mean, it's hard to say, right? Like, I mean, I think it was the same when Shawn came back. People were afraid he was going to fuck his back again. It's one of those things where I feel like, and Kevin Owens has produced such quality for so long, and I feel like in Toronto of all places, granted it's not Montreal, but slightly different world, but like I feel like you'd be remiss if you just let this opportunity go. Because again, who's to say, like next week could be his last fucking day. It could be like Edge, right? Like where something gets fucked and then now it's done, at least until, years later. So maybe that's not the best example, but this is an opportunity where I think the iron's hot and you got to strike it. Even if Kevin Owens is champ it's kind of like with Sammy, right? Even if he's champ for just a little bit, in this point, I think I can say like
if he wins, I don't think it's going to be a long reign. I think 2
months. No, I don't think so either.
Most.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think
he's overdue a world title, and like I don't say that often about anybody.
Yeah,
right.
I would agree. All right, let's transition over and talk some AEW. We are 10 days away from All In at Wembley Stadium, a week from Sunday, and last night, solid Dynamite. I'm going to sound really old here, but just advertise the show that it goes till 10:30. Tired of it.
And they want to do 2.5 hour Dynamites, like whatever, but like,
dude, who cares?
Just say it.
Who cares?
Let's figure it out.
Stop telling me this show ends at 10 p.m. because it does not, and it hasn't for a year. Anyway, again, I'm not complaining about having to watch more wrestling. But as somebody who does an AEW post show on a different channel, I would like to know when the show's gonna fucking end.
It makes your life a little harder.
It does. It does. But anyway, I'm not complaining. It was a great show. The wrestling's good. I'm not upset about watching more good wrestling. But for fuck, we all know. You go in a commercial at 10:04. Show's supposed to end at 10. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm gonna take a deep breath. And we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine because this show at the
should we hit?
At the end of the night, and we'll talk about everything that kind of happened because this was a good show. There was tournament stuff that happened that I want to talk about and things like that. But at the end of the night, the main event was a trios match. It was Kenny Omega and the Bucks against my man Mark Davis again, having another banger. Jake Doyle and El Clone. Mark Davis fucking rules.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, good match, good trios match. Yeah, love them. Good trios match, good. Obviously, Omega and the Bucks win. No surprise. If you were picking against them, you don't watch the show. So, that happens. But it's really what happens after the match. Before the match, actually, we had promos earlier in the night. We had a sit-down with Omega and Ospreay that I thought ran a little long for me. A little long.
Amazing.
It was good. It was good.
Amazing.
It was good. And Omega really he got a little the last dig that he did to Oz. He was digging him throughout, but he brought up his mom, his family. Ospreay was like, "Don't fucking you don't do that." And he's like, "All right, I'm not going to do that. I'm fine." He goes, "But that boy of yours is probably going to want to look for a new hero after he sees what I do to you." And it was like, "Oh, it's like But yeah, the sit down was really, really well done. I thought, if you ever saw that promo that he cut when they were fighting in Japan, when they were at the big table there, when he said a lot of that same stuff about talking about his COVID experience and what he had to do to wrestle during that time. And Kenny took the easy way out by starting AEW and didn't have to deal with that. And he had to replace Kenny and, whatever. And then Kenny leans in and goes, yeah, in theory, you replaced me, but you weren't selling out. You weren't doing what I was doing. You weren't putting butts in the seats. You weren't selling out shows like I was selling out shows. We were not the same. We're not the same. people thought, people look at you and they look at me and they think we're the same and they think you were the next me, but we're not the same. And I just thought it was very well done. It's stuff we've heard them say before. They have a long history, but I just thought the way it went, and you could see the whole time Ospreay wanted to snap, and he was just trying to, and Kenny was cool as a cucumber, just being a prick, and just, it was very well done, Shep.
Well, and going into Wembley, I think you have to have a clear heel and face, and after this promo, it's a no-brainer.
They started to lean into what we saw at the end. Yeah.
You're going to have your hometown hero in Ospreay, right? It's his hometown. And then you're going to have this guy that was all of a sudden an absolute prick, and I loved it. I maybe one of the best Kenny segments on the mic I've seen in a long time. And I marked out hard for this segment, and it was probably 7-8 minutes long. It was a little bit, least, but I text Tanner, and there's this imaginary character in our pod named Paul. I text those guys and I was like, look, after this segment, I don't want to see those guys touch each other until Wembley.
Well,
that didn't happen.
So, I know.
You just had to say it, Shep.
I did. I texted it, and then at the end, I'm just like, I jinxed myself.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah. So when Kenny was on his way to the ring for the main event, they did that shot again that we've seen him do earlier when Ospreay kind of gave Kenny the pep talk to win the world title. This time, Will goes up. He kind of meets him in the way to the ring, like from behind, and they have kind of a
gorilla. They're just fighting.
They're arguing. They're getting into it. Have to be separated by security. And then Kenny comes out. They have a great main event. Kenny and the Bucks win, and then Will Ospreay comes out, and immediately Kenny is like security, get him out of here. Gets all this stuff. Security grabs him. Kenny attacks. And he cuts, and then he grabs the mic, and he sounds really dastardly and really, and he goes, all right, I'm done with you. And then there's a table that was set up during the match that is outside, and he brings Ospreay to the outside apron, and he gives Ospreay a one-winged angel from the apron to the floor through this table. And that first picture where Kenny is sitting up and his eyes, and he's like psychotic. And that, to me, obviously what we saw there was like, he teased it at the end of Revolution, and the talking points, he's kind of been leaning into it since Revolution, but that was official. That's full-fledged heel turn. Kenny Omega.
I got 2 points. I saw something earlier, is that the AEW world title brings out the worst in people, and it is the most true statement that I think
100%
is about AEW. Like, every single person that's held that title has had a heel turn or gone crazy. Like, look at Hangman, look at Swerve, like, look at Kenny the first time, look at Kenny the second time, look at Moxley. Like, every single person besides, I guess, Bryan Danielson.
I was gonna say Danielson's probably the only.
I guess you could say CM Punk.
He got bagged before him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Punk went off in his press conference after he won. So
so I guess you can count that too.
Yeah, he had a lot of sour grapes. Yeah.
I think, and this might be a hot take, and I know our Emporium isn't open yet till next month, but I think for the first time in 8 years, we saw the cleaner. I think that's the fucking cleaner. That's not Kenny Omega. That is the cleaner. Like, I would not, if he came out to his New Japan theme at Wembley, it would make sense.
I like it. I would love that. I'd freaking pop hard for that.
Like, that was the cleaner 100%. That was not the God of Pro Wrestling Kenny Omega. That's not Elite Kenny Omega. That's not Golden Elite Kenny Omega. That's the fucking cleaner that came out at the end there. And that's not Callous Omega, because that is a different type of heel. That's the cleaner. And that's the guy that Kenny, or that Will, has to beat. So, I mean, this is going to be the most insane match of the year besides maybe Mask versus Mask, and I'm all for it and ready. And it had to be for Will. It has to be Kenny for him to beat. It has to be. If it was MJF, it wouldn't mean as much.
I mean, listen, and I'll say this right now. He's kicking out of the one-winged angel in that match.
That's a hot take.
He is kicking out of it. 100%.
I think if anyone's going to do it, yeah. 100%. I think it's going to be about time.
Especially getting it through the table last night, the way that happened. The second that happened, I was like, "Oh, he's kicking out of that one-winged angel."
Especially because I've been saying that we're on like the last 2 years of Kenny. I think.
Yeah.
He's near in the end, very very close. But like, if it's going to be anybody, it should be Will. If it's not going to be Kota, of course, because if it was anybody else, it should be Kota Ibushi. So like,
I don't know. Yeah,
but I like it.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think Kenny's going to hit that one-winged angel, and he's going to have this look on his face like, I fucking beaten this guy, and Will's going to kick out, and he's going to be like, oh shit. And then I think that's going to,
as long as it's not at 1. So I don't mind the kick out at 1 spots because number one, Kenny Omega is the fucking best person to do them ever. Like the way he does it, it's always like, oh my god. Sometimes they overdo it. And if they did it in this spot, it would ruin the moment. It's got to be at 2.99999. Like it has to be as close of a kick out as it can be.
Was it 2013 or 14 when Ibushi kicked out?
That was like 2009. Like it was.
I'm showing my age. Sorry.
A long time.
I know. It was a long time.
Kota's the only one to do it.
Right.
As of right now, if they're going to do it, let it be another person. And him letting MJF kick out after 40 seconds means a lot because, duh. But like then you also have MJF. I kicked out of the one-winged angel. I'm the greatest ever. You know, it's just Max being Max. So like, but having somebody do it decisively at 2 or 2.5, 2.99, whatever you want to say, it means more.
And it's going to be at Wembley.
Yeah,
it's going to be at Wembley. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the truest passing of the torch match I think we've seen in quite a while too. I mean, maybe besides like SummerSlam, but like I think this has been a long time coming. Obviously, you know, you have their history in Japan, you have their match in Japan, you have at Forbidden Door, and then like you have
Will's beaten him one time when it mattered, once.
Right. So this is effectively the rubber
win
match
because of Callis. So it's got to be decisive, it's got to be clean, and it's got to be a Will win. Because if Kenny wins, what are we doing?
Yeah, Kenny will absolutely not win.
Yeah, and I thought it was really good by Will to mention that in the sit down where Kenny was like, "You didn't do it alone," and Will was like, "That shit. What do you think? I feel good about that. Like that eats at me. That eats at me. Like I need to do it on my own." And I just thought it was just really, really well done. Yeah, that match is going to be. Look at All In has a few matches. That we saw Takeshita show up last night. I mean, Okada, Fletcher, and Takeshita. I mean,
that's gonna be madness.
What are we?
I was ready for just Okada and Protostar and Fletcher. I thought that was gonna be the match, and that was that. And then Tony Khan, that sick motherfucker. He's like, we're gonna throw in Takeshita. It's like, all right, open the show with that. Good luck, everybody else. Even though Kenny and Will don't need it.
Yeah. Kenny and Will will be, probably the match of the night. But I mean, those three guys might have something to say about that shit.
And I love the promo from Fletcher, basically talking about how Okada's got his back at the end of the day. He's gonna let Fletcher go over. I thought Fletcher cut a great promo. Fletcher is trending in my book. That guy is so good.
He's going to be a massive babyface when he leaves the Callis family. That's what they've been building to, I think, for the last month or so.
He'll be a massive babyface when he makes his title run, his main event title run. Sorry.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I've really loved and that's kind of gone understated through this whole span of time, even since back when we met Pierce at 40, because I was over at Supercard of Honor when Fletcher was Ring of Honor TV champion, and that reign was great. That put that title on some sort of spotlight, whatever you want to fucking call it, right? But like, since seeing him really being stamped into his main roster run away from Davis, still being tied to him now in the family, right? But really like these two guys being on their own, but Fletcher in particular, watching him rise up as TNT champ, now international champion, like he's been steadily evolving. And I've said it, I think too, like we talked about like Okada, who needs Don Callis more, Okada or Fletcher? And I mean, honestly, I feel like Fletcher still stands to benefit a lot more. I feel like Callis has really groomed Fletcher in his image. And I feel like there's still like a lot you can really wring out of that sponge, in this current iteration of Fletcher, until, like you said, he eventually leaves the family, and then we start to see him go after. I think he was probably. I don't think he's going to necessarily go. He'll have a match with Will when Will is champ. I think that's inevitable.
But the end goal for me is there's two options to end Will's reign. Number one is Okada, because it has to be fucking Okada. Like, Will's beaten him maybe once when it mattered. Same thing with Kenny. And the other option, and it's more of a dark horse, is Jay White. Just because Jay White,
even after this last
Jay White,
even after yesterday.
Well, I figured that was going to be the finals.
That was real
but
hard
it seems
to watch.
like the finals of, was it the Continental Cup?
Continental Cup.
The Continental Championship.
Seems like
Cup.
The finals is now going to be Nigel and Moxley, and as a substitute, I think that's completely fine, because I think then you have Jay White in Casino Gauntlet. So,
we have. Go ahead, Shep.
Going back to your Fletcher and Okada, who needs Don Callis more? I would say it's Okada, because Fletcher can talk. And I'm not saying Okada can't talk, but to go out and deliver a promo, Fletcher can do that on his own. Okada really can't. He can go out and call you a bitch. It's kind of
maybe do one of these.
Yeah.
But,
so I think Okada needs Don Callis more.
My thing is, it feels like Okada should be the leader of the Callis family. Like, he should be the main guy of the Callis.
Yeah.
Yes. But Fletcher, like Kevin Knight's there, Fletcher's there, Okada's there. It feels like maybe Kevin Knight is going to kind of
pushing him out.
Correct. And it feels like, because there's been that tension that they've kind of gotten away with, because they're each dealing with their own shit right now. But they've had tension.
400 fucking people in that faction when there should be maybe 7 at most.
So I do feel like at some point over the next couple months, in my opinion, Okada is going to leave All In as the international champion. He's going to win that 3-way, I think. And then I think that will create a divide with him and Fletcher officially. Like, they'll be, not. And this is all going to lead to Fletcher either leaving the Callis family or getting kicked out of the Callis family. Either way,
you can have
I feel
the
like
breakup at Wembley.
You could.
And then have Takesh to save him, and then you bring Protoshita back. That might be early, but Wembley
and then you can easily have Okada and Kevin Knight versus Protoshita, and that's an easy top 2 guys in the Callis family versus the top 2 ex guys in the Callis family and stuff like that. I just feel like they have been slowly, over the last month to 6 weeks, slowly building to Fletcher. You were in August. By the end of the year, he's going to be a massive babyface in this company. And I just think that's what they're building towards. It feels like Kevin Knight is going to, not that I think he needs the Callis family either, but he's been elevated a little bit in the Callis family, Kevin Knight as well. So it feels like he's going to kind of take that mantle of like the young stud in the Callis family. Well, Okada is kind of the main guy, I guess you would say.
I think
and
Kevin Knight,
400 other people that are just there.
Yeah.
I think
besides
Kevin
Mark
Knight,
Davis.
I like Mark Davis.
He's got my favorite finisher name of all time.
I like
Close your eyes and count to fuck.
Yeah. I look at, I know there's a lot of guys in the group. I like the Callis family. I think they are much needed in AEW. I think there is room in AEW for a guy like Don Callis, who's an automatic heat magnet. I'm very pro Callis family. There are guys in there. They don't wrestle. They're in there for the segments like we saw last night with the brawl and all that stuff.
That's
but,
my thing. They're like, have 5 to 6, 8, 7, 8 at most, And then, but like you have Hechicero in there, and if you didn't tell me he was in the Callis family, I'd have no idea. He's the CMLL heavyweight champion. Like, and
That's
then
fair.
like you have the people like the Rocky Romeros and like that are just also there. Like, I think if they squeezed it a little bit, it would be a lot more effective, because when you have 16 guys, and I think that's a guess that it's 16, but if you just have that heat magnet, Don Callis is the manager, and then you have a true pecking order, I think it would be better.
If they could have 500 guys, as long as they don't have Brian fucking Cage in there, I'm okay.
Hey,
so anti Brian Cage. Shep
He's
is
a
just
fucking machine,
so
Shep.
anti Brian Cage.
I am
Who better?
anti Brian Cage.
Who better?
What did
Who
he
better
do
than
to you?
Cage?
What did he ever do to you?
I don't know. I've the guy gets under my skin for the last 2 years.
Me and Brandon.
Is it
because
he's 40 years old and he can't get over the Wolverine cosplay?
I can't get over the Wolverine gimmick either. I thought that was awful.
Does it? Yeah, I mean, if there was some guy walking around, I can't talk shit about Rey Mysterio too much because, he was Spider-Man, he was Wolverine, he was Joker, he was all that shit, Cap.
I mean, the worst one was Silver Surfer for him. So,
well, I mean, yeah, it's not very. You don't try to use your imagination too much with that. Yeah,
he's like, all right, I'm just gonna paint myself silver. And
yep.
For the best.
Just come out in tinfoil. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it was a good time.
But,
I always go back to the more I see Brian Cage and he does his stuff, the more I feel okay not hating Austin Aries back in TNA when he didn't put him over.
That's an interesting kind of change.
I always thought that was just an absolute dick move. What a piece of shit Austin Aries was.
Well, I mean, he was.
Well, he is.
Fair.
He still is.
Repping Milwaukee.
As a human.
Milwaukee strong.
Yeah, as a human.
Still is, but now it's just like I don't know. Maybe it's because I remember when his contract was coming up, and I'm like, oh, he's looking at his options, and it's like, oh, no, TK says I want him, and then they just bury him in mid-card level. I don't know. I just don't.
I think
Brian
he should
Cage.
turn from the Callis and just be a baby face. I think
he was
we saw
awful
him in
with
Minneapolis as a baby face against Jay Christ, and they tore the fucking house down. He's a baby face in waiting, but he's just stuck with the Callis family for right now.
Yeah, before he was with the Callis family, he was with those guys that are with Ricochet, and I'm just like, this is awful.
And then he was, Team Taz before that too, where he was a TW champion forever. So the thing about Cage, and it's kind of apropos that he used to team with a guy like Lance Archer. I think the thing that kind of sours me about Cage is Cage is perfect in damn near any promotion. His stick skills could be stronger, sure, but you look at this guy, it's just a fucking flippy meat mountain, right? He's got in-ring skills for days. And, maybe there was a couple guys similar to him who kind of took after that, but he was kind of the proto in a lot of ways. And he never really, Lance, never fully actualized his potential, I don't think. Or he settled for less. Maybe I don't want to come off too accusational, but I feel like there's a lot more he could have achieved. He was TNA champ. He had arguably, and I think he even said so himself, his best run was in TNA, albeit he lost to Tessa Blanchard as well, but I digress. But apart from that, it's amazing that that's really the best. That's kind of where he peaked. That was the best he's ever done. That's kind of my thing. And I was kind of piggybacking off of your sentiment there a little bit, Shep, and I was maybe trying to feel about if that's where it was. Yeah, it's great guy. Cool dude, cool as hell. But just, never quite got to that next level,
I believe in the first All In, he was eliminated in that Battle Royal by Jordan Grace. Was he?
Yes,
not?
He was. Yeah. He was. That was the big spot of showing that she was, she got Brian Cage out and a bunch of other guys out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we did have 2 cup matches last night. Nigel McGuinness did defeat Hechicero. It was a good match. They really keyed in on Nigel's ankle injury throughout the match. Hechicero was working submissions and just limb work throughout. Nigel really selling it, screaming at points in pain. Really, really good. And Nigel, there was at one point they did the thing where the ref was thinking about stopping the match and they didn't. And then Nigel got him in a chokehold and Hechicero passed out. And Nigel advanced to move on. We will obviously be doing blind draws every round until we get to the final 2. So he moved on. And then earlier in the evening, a match that Pierce had said he thought it might be the final of this tournament. We had Jon Moxley and Jay White. A match I was looking forward to, a match I thought was good. But a match when I found out it was this round, I was like, oh, well, Moxley's going to win this. And again, like, you know, Jay White kind of just came back. All right, fine. But I just...
The story was right there for the finals. Like, Jay White was taken out by the Death Riders. Yep. Why not just have him beat Moxley at Wembley? That makes sense.
Well, if you got Nigel coming back, you got to have him in the finals at Wembley. It's Nigel.
I'm fine with Nigel. Nigel McGuinness is amazing. He's always been amazing. He's going to come out to fucking Oasis, and it's going to rule. So, like, and we saw if a British guy comes out to Oasis, it's going to be a good match. So,
yeah. Yeah, because good.
No, and I think, too, you know, I took a break of professional wrestling. You know, like if you listen to Tanner, we took breaks there in the 2000s, early 2000s, because the shit sucked. Okay, let's be honest, right? And
in the early 2000s,
lost its mind and didn't know what to do.
Well,
it was mid 2000s,
mid-ish 2000s. I would
mid
say.
To late. Yeah, I'd say late would definitely.
Yeah, and again, all we had was the Fed, and and we didn't have a lot of mainstream ROH. And so when I kind of got back into it and started leaning about it, you know, Nigel was done. He was on the shelf. So I didn't get to see a lot of Nigel. Now coming back, I mean, give me all the Nigel. I know we're not going to see him on a full schedule, but give me all the Nigel I can see. And I'm sick of seeing highlights. I want to see real matches from him. So
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's fair. And again, with it being in Wembley, I think the crowd response you're going to get to Nigel going after Moxley and potential, you know, I don't think he probably wins that match, but like that crowd is going to be at a fever pitch wanting their guy.
If they want to give him the feel good win at Wembley, that's fine. Then I'll head all out and have him lose it. I'm sure.
Well, I was going to say too, he's also got, I don't know if that match is still on, but he's got a match the week following, I believe, for Ring of Honor. And I think the stip, if it still stands, is if he loses, then like he's done, if I recall correctly.
Done like in Ring of Honor or done?
I'd have to double back. I almost want to say done. I got to double back on that. But I mean, the way I see it, like if he lost in Wembley, like he had the great match, right? And then he can lose to Moriarty again and then be like, done, right? Especially like with this ankle injury, and there's the talk of like he's getting old anyways, right? And like if he's getting hurt, like I understand he lost a shit ton of time in his career, and it sucks if that's the way he goes out when he's finally starting to realize like he's at a point where he can't really come back from things like he used to, right? But
yeah,
and he's guaranteed money as an announcer. But
our pal Ophelia says that match was supposed to be tomorrow, but he's now out of that match.
Just announced he won't be challenging Lee Moriarty.
So he's out of that match. And then Scott, right above Ophelia's comment, said Mox should beat Nigel in the finals, and then Nigel should retire in his homeland.
That'd be fine too.
Which I think that could be a possibility. I feel like
leave the boots in the ring, man.
Yeah. Especially in his home country, giving him that last match, which would be I think that it's a shame that we did lose. And again, I'm like you, Shep. That early Ring of Honor with all those guys there, I did not watch it regularly, so like I didn't see that. I didn't see Nigel. The first time I really saw Nigel matches was the matches I'm seeing now for the most part. Oh, I went back and watched matches, obviously, but like live, like current, like So I think giving him that opportunity to fight for a title, fight against. You can make an argument the top guy in the history of the company and Moxley over there. And probably that match is going to, there will be multiple times where it looks like Nigel's going to win that match. And to have that kind of moment there, if that is it or the last big real moment of his career, like I feel like that would be very fitting to have it there at Wembley. So
Could you imagine in 2005, 2006 if we would just give two shits of ROH and start watching the matches you could have saw, and then watch these guys develop into WWE and on, like,
yeah,
you were getting weekly matches of Kevin Owens and El Generico.
Dude, you had CM Punk and Samoa Joe. You had Samoa Joe and Adam Cole. You had all these guys.
Tyler Black,
Tyler Black,
Seth Rollins,
Austin Aries.
You had all
Brian Danielson and Austin Aries.
Jimmy Jacobs was fucking
75 minutes.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jacobs was a fucking asshole, and people overlooked that a lot. But him in the fall, man, like Black was rolling with him. Rhino, I think it was some weird shit, but like, yeah, you had Brody Lee rolling with him too. Like it was an underrated stable for its time, very influential.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Jacobs, he doesn't get enough credit, man. And I think even Seth would say the same. I think he's actually said the same on record. But like Jimmy, man, there's so much good shit, and I won't gush on it, but so fucking much good shit came out of ROH. When you have WWE, even under the Vince era, giving it props, even on segments like Table for Three, what they had back in the day, like they had something special back in that time.
Yeah.
But
now
look at it.
Yeah.
No.
Don't start.
Don't worry, we're not going down that. We're not going down that hole. We're not going down that hole.
JPJ, you know how he goes.
I know. Listen. I totally agree. I totally feel but that could be another separate 2-hour show.
I could do it then and now. Ring of Honor.
I will not be here for that show.
Yeah,
that's a brand new episode.
And a lot of that had to go back to wasn't Gabe
Sapolsky.
Yeah. Wasn't he the booker back then?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did a hell of a job.
It was Gabe, and then it was Jim Cornette for a
while. Jim Cornette was there, like at the prime Owens and Generico.
I'll bring this up. There's a ROH thing where Jim was sitting ringside, and he didn't like Kevin Owens or Kevin Steen at the time at all.
Yeah,
and Kevin Steen is the world champion. He's like, "Do you hate me?" And Jim's just freaking out. He's like, "Oh yeah, do you hate me more than Vince Russo?" And Jim just flies off the handle. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it was good.
I think Jim Cornette's out there, but I love his mind and his history of the business.
He's the best wrestling historian around.
I can listen to him all day long.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
I
that's
agree.
why Jim Cornette's great on the Dark Side of the Ring episodes because he knows everything.
Yeah, I agree with that. His knowledge and the way he tells stories, he's just really good at that. He does say some shit that's like, okay, like let's relax. But his
passion is, you can tell when he talks about something, he's passionate about. Like this business is not just it's his passion, it's his life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's so good.
I did want to put over the ladies. I thought that 4-way was awesome. Last night with Maya World, Statlander, Sheeta, and Persephone. Let me tell you. If I'm Tony Khan, just give her a blank check, brother. Just give her a blank check and say, hey, you tell me what it's going to take. I know the other place is interested in you. I don't give a fuck. You tell me what it's going to take. When you're done your contract with CMLL, you are here, and you are gonna be a centerpiece of this division. Persephone is unbelievable. To me, even though all 4 of these ladies are incredible, and Maya World is just on a ridiculous run. Since they kind of gave her the ball in that Owen tournament. Persephone was the Persephone I thought was the anchor and the MVP of this whole match. And I continue, and again, I don't watch CMLL on a regular basis. The only time I see her wrestle is when she is featured, and she usually loses a lot. And I know she's the CMLL Women's Champion or whatever they call their,
you got it.
But they have to make sure it's not a Stephanie of the Care situation.
I agree.
100%.
100%. You cannot this is a no-brainer, no doubter. You need to make sure you get this. You get this talent because she is special. And she can talk. She's good, man. She's really good. This match.
Is she not under a dual contract?
She's under a dual. She's under. I want to say contract. I think technically
there's one of them.
Yeah,
but more so CMLL for sure. I mean, considering she's their champ and everything, but
but
it's good for them, right?
Yeah, of course.
Good
But
for
there
her.
is rumor that obviously WWE would be interested as well. So they just need to make sure. You just got to make sure. This is someone you got to make sure you kind of handle that down when you can. But I thought this.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You can't miss with her. Not knowing the future of your women's division with. We still don't know what the hell is going on with Toni Storm. We still don't know what the hell is going on with Britt Baker. But take Britt Baker out of it, I don't think she can wrestle like this lady. This lady is athletic as hell, and she is. Yeah, take my money. Like I've been bitching for 2 years now that you've known me, JPJ. I want Athena on my everyday Wednesday television, and we're obviously not getting that. So give me her.
Yeah, I would agree. I thought this 4-way was really, really good. It felt like the flow of it was just so. The way that all 4 of them were coming in and out and doing whatever and all these things. And all right, let me get Pierce back.
Sorry about that. We're gonna switch.
Okay.
We're gonna switch to this angle.
Switching this setup. All right. But I just thought the flow of this match and the way that all 4 of these ladies were coming in and out and hitting their spots and it was just competitive from start to finish. And it felt like at any point throughout this match, all 4 of them legitimately looked like they were going to potentially win the match. And I just thought it was just very well done.
I think 5-6 minutes into this match, they got "This is an awesome" chant.
Yeah.
Like a loud "This is awesome" chant, like early in the match. So that just tells you how much they won over the crowd.
Yeah, this was very good. This was very, very good. And then I thought, we also had the other face-to-face kind of. This one was not in the same room, but we had the face-to-face between Mercedes and Willow, which got heated. And then it turned into a massive brawling separation by the masses segment here.
For a minute and a half, and then Will was just like, "That's it.
Yep,
I'm done."
And they did, and I'm finding you. Where are you? I'm finding you. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And they found and it was blindsided by Mercedes. They brings it out to the ring. They're beating the crap out of each other, brawling, and they get separated. A lot of heat. Really, really good. If it wasn't Wembley and it wasn't All In, I feel like this could be a potential main event pay-per-view match if it wasn't this specific show in Wembley with Will. But I think the build to this match has been spectacular. Obviously you already had the built-in history, so you didn't have to really do much. But I thought the segment they had in ring a couple weeks ago, right after Willow won the title, was incredible. I really loved this segment. And this is one of the matches I am looking forward to the most at all.
I'm still disappointed Tekla's not taking the title to Wembley.
I would agree. I would agree. I was very pro Tekla kind of earned that right, I thought, to be the champion heading into All In.
Are they doing a women's casino gauntlet? Did they announce that yet?
I don't believe it's been announced yet. No, I think it's right now it's just the men's.
If they do that, then maybe Tekla's the heir apparent winner for that. But maybe she just wants a break, and I get that. But it's just unfortunate because she put the women's division on her back for the past 5 months, and hell of a title reign.
From what I was told, and obviously I am no insider like some, but from what I was told, this was always the plan. It was just supposed to be the other way around. Mercedes was supposed to be the champion, and Willow was going to win the Owen. And then once Willow got hurt and couldn't be in the Owen through booking, they were like, all right, Mercedes, you're in the Owen, and we're just going to kind of get the title on Willow. It was supposed to be the other way around.
And it makes sense because they have history back in New Japan. Mercedes gets hurt. They pick it in the middle of the match. Willow wins that New Japan Strong title. I get that, but I thought Tekla with her mic work, which was really rough at the start. I thought she came into her own. She was doing that commentary at the end, which was awesome. I was laughing. I was popping. It was hilarious.
She's drinking, getting drunk on commentary, calling everybody dumb bitches. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome. I enjoy that. Cheers to her. And her in-ring work was always really good.
Oh yeah.
I understand how they pivoted to this because of the story of this Mercedes going to overcome this, injury loss. I get it. It's kind of predictable. I get it, but I still think Tekla should be in there somewhere.
I would agree. Okay. This whole time, I have been of the belief for a long time that we were building and leading to Mercedes winning the title.
She shouldn't.
I feel like Willow should win this match.
Willow needs to win more because I figured that Mercedes, after losing all her titles, she was going to come back, become a huge baby face.
That's what I thought.
Obvious choice, but she's still this dastardly heel, and I think you have to 100% have Willow win and give her a defining win, and then down the road, Mercedes' babyface beats a heel champion. Whoever beats Willow. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah. But I've really enjoyed what they've been doing with these two here. It's been very, very good. And then, obviously other things happened on Dynamite that we'll talk about, but the other talking point is during, after one of the trios matches, we saw the trios champion show up, Brodito and Hangman Adam Page, and Hangman got on the mic. And he said, I just want to let everybody know that at All In, we don't care who it is. Any three guys back there that want to come out and challenge us, we'll be ready for a fight. We'll be ready to put these trios champions on the line. We don't care against who. We don't care about how many of you. We don't care. And obviously this has been built. Ricochet and the Demand have been out there. Lethal Twist have been out there. Now we saw a segment with the Dogs, and Gabe Kidd is now back, which is another trio you can throw into the mix. I think a trio that should get those titles sooner than later, if you ask me.
They got chips.
Yeah,
you're right. Not this. It's this.
But we get we get that, and then a little bit later, we get a segment with Swerve and Prince Nana in the back, and Swerve says, did I hear you correctly? You said any three guys? And he goes, don't promise me something. Or you said something along the lines of like, don't say something if it's not true. Or don't promise me, don't promise me something if you're not being truthful. And then Nana, obviously this is a saying of Swerve's, but I felt like he kind of leaned into it a bit more. Nana kind of leaned in and said, whose house? And then it was Swerve. And this all started with the segment where Swerve came back last week. And then immediately, or a couple weeks ago, was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
It was last week.
Yes, that's
last
right.
week.
And then everybody was kind of like, and it feels like they leaned into it a little bit more. This has to be the New Day. Right?
I mean, they were heels at the tail end of their WWE run, and the fact that they wanted to give him what it was, a 50% pay cut.
Did you notice? When Hangman was cutting his promo, he said, "Meet us at dusk," or he said something along the lines of like at dawn or dusk or something like that. The rumored name for the New Day is Daybreak, which Daybreak would also be dusk, not dusk. Yeah, dawn is Daybreak.
Yeah,
it'll be. It's like they're. Come on now.
They're doing they're just giving a little breadcrumbs for the trail. There is something that AEW desperately needs when Swerve is gone, and then when he comes back, like the aura that man has, that he has and has built since he came to AEW. Like when he joined AEW, it's like, hell yeah, Swerve's here. Let's see what's going to go happen. And then the rocket ship was strapped to him. And the aura that he has now as genuinely the most dangerous man in that company, and that's not hyperbole, that's how he is. And you add the New Day, you have Austin Creed and Kofi is what I assume what their names would be.
KSM, I think I heard.
It's just like that pop they're going to get if that's what they do, which they should do it, is going to be incredible.
Yeah, but what music can they play? That
all three of them on a track. That's all they need.
Yeah,
all three of them?
Yeah, they can make. Yeah, if they wanted to get in the studio and whip something up, they could. I mean, I think it's going to be the vision. I think they're going to be like I wouldn't be shocked if we get a Titantron type of thing that basically shows you that it's going to be them before the music hits, kind of thing.
Like a continuation of their video from last month. With
Like
the
you
unicorns.
could just show the unicorn. You could show a video and just have a couple unicorns walking down a road or something like that, and then it's just like, oh, you know immediately, and it's like, okay, and then whatever kind of music hits, it's like, oh, this is their music. All right, here we go, and stuff like that.
And we know Tony will, if they want licensed music, they will get it
for sure.
So we're going to see Swerve coming out in a unicorn horn now.
You know,
is what we can anticipate.
You know, and again, I don't
super
I don't
bloody
think,
unicorn horn, but yeah,
I don't think this is necessarily a trio that stays together per se. I don't think they win that match. I think if it's especially if they make it a multi-team match, like if they make this a three-way trios with Ricochet, because Ricochet was talking shit to Swerve too, so Swerve is gonna wanna, if they make this a 3 or 4 team, if they make this a 3 or 4 team trios match for the titles, and Swerve is like, this is my group, there's a way for them to lose that match without even being involved in it, that it doesn't matter. Because
I think the obvious choice is they have to do
Bucks.
Austin Creed versus.
Well, you got Omega.
Omega, yeah.
Sure, but I would think you have that happen early in the night, and I would even later on in the night the Bucks win the tag titles, and I have them walk right out. I have Daybreak come right out and just do the stare down and be like, "That's why we're here. That's why we're here for this match with you guys and to take those fucking titles."
It's 10 years of build. Just from playing video games.
And the New Day, Daybreak, whatever their name's going to be, those are two guys that, like, to me, if you are signing them and if they are going to you, you don't wait around. You don't wait around. Like, they should win the tag, especially if the Bucks win. Who cares how long the Bucks are those champs for? Who cares?
Don't need to hold them long.
Nope. That is something you do not wait around. They should win those titles literally at All Out. They should win the next big match they're in for those. The first time they win those belts. And then that's kind of that feels like what you should do there. Those are two guys that the second they show up, your tag team division is on a different planet. So that's just how I feel.
Let's go to this tag team division because I'm an FTR mark. So do we make this Young Bucks, Cage and Cope? Do we make this a TLC match? We got one more TLC match from Cage and Cope.
I'm shocked it's not announced as that already. It should be.
Yeah, if not all in, then all out, I would think. Figure that out, how they're going to do it. But.
Well, here's the thing. I know FTR's taking a break, but they're doing a match in Europe the 2 nights before with the Good Brothers.
Yep.
So they're going to be in Europe. They're going to have a warm-up match. I mean,
you want to bring them in there, do a 3-team TLC match? I mean, they have to do it.
I'm not a fan of lazy booking with 3-ways, but this one I would get behind.
It's just the 2 biggest teams of now versus the biggest team of yesteryear in that big teams match. Specifically, it's their fucking match. So like if they don't do it, I'm not going to be disappointed at all, but they probably should.
That, and you know how close Cash and Cope are.
Yep.
And literally trained him to come back for his Fed run. So you would think they want to be incorporated some way.
I would agree. I think very exciting to see, because it feels like it's just that this is what we're getting, and this is going to be there's going to be a lot of real special moments here at All In that they are building to, and that one would probably be as big as any, to be honest with you, if those guys show up. So
here's another honest question for you guys: over under 5.5 hours. How long does this pay-per-view go?
Over.
I think it's going 6. I think it's going 6.
Yeah.
6 hours.
Oh, just alone without pre-show.
At least it'll be early.
Well, the pre-show starts at 1. I think we're going 1 to 9. I think we're going 1 to 9.
From pre-show to end.
Okay.
From pre-show to end, I think we're going 1 to 9.
Yeah, you ever see these fucking people getting coffee in the stands and shit, just trying to stay awake for this? Getting some
that's
fucking
a nice thing
Red
for
Bull.
us is that it's
across
the pond. It'll be early.
Yeah. What? So it's going to start Yeah, so what is it, a 5.5? It's going to be like 8 p.m. when it starts over there, right?
I think it's a 5-hour difference.
Yeah, so it's going to be 8 p.m. Those poor bastards are going to be in that arena until 2.
Oh,
They're going to be
Lord,
in
it's
that
gonna
arena
be-
until 2. Those poor
And,
bastards.
like,
And I say that
them,
their show's going to rule. Like,
luckily
it's
for
gonna
them,
rule,
like,
but
I'm sure there's
It'd be
going to
so
be
fucking
people, you
hilarious.
didn't sell out Wembley, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Who gives a shit? They got 40,000 tickets sold at this point. The last one sold 50. The first one sold 80, but that first one, it had been a long time since UK got a show, especially that one that big. And they also had lightning in a bottle with Better Than You, Baby, and that deserved 80,000 people for that hug. So is it going to break that ticket record? Probably fucking not at this point. But like, it's going to be 40 to 50,000 people, and they're going to be fucking hot because UK crowds are always fucking hot.
Yep, I agree.
I just want to see them drag that show out long enough to where it actually hits the dawn, and you start to see the sun crest up over the horizon, like light starts peeling into the arena, and then just Kofi
and then that's when the New Day come out.
Best debut ever. Best debut ever. It'll totally make up for, I mean, I guess it wouldn't make up for. I was thinking I was going to be a smartest and say something about them showcasing Sting at Mania 31 with the sun, but like, no.
You look at Mania 31, the entire show was bright. Like Undertaker came out, and it was bright.
Yeah.
It looked weird.
Yeah, it was Undertaker and Bray Wyatt in fucking the middle of the day. I'm like, bro, if there ever needed to be a match that was at night,
especially because
Undertaker and Bray Wyatt
with
should
the
have beat him.
lantern.
I was like, Bray Wyatt should have fucking beat him. What are we doing here? You got the next spooky guy going against the last spooky guy at 30 years. The spooky guy should win. The new guy. The new spooky guy. What are we doing?
Need more spoops in my wrestling.
What the hell? Anyway, R.I.P. I love that. I missed that, man.
Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt.
Oh, man. All-timer. One other thing I wanted to mention. We saw Sting's son on the show last night.
Steve Borden was there.
They introduced him, Kevin Knight.
Carrying those guns out in public.
Yeah, he almost he gave Darby a taste of his own medicine. Horrendous spot. It looked terrible. But they did like an explosion thing at the top of the ramp that almost killed Darby.
I liked the fucking fan view of that. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
The fans
were
like, we can't see shit.
Yeah. And then he hit the coast to coast with the chair around Darby's neck, which we've seen him do before. It was gnarly looking. Darby sold it really well. They got the stretcher right out there, and Stephen Borden, Sting's kid, was out there just around the paramedics, and I was like, all right,
in a wife beater,
showing off the guns,
He did just
showing off the
sign
guns.
This week,
yes,
correct?
yeah.
Oh,
and I was like, all right, that's a good, obviously Sting and Darby, duh. I'm like, that's a pretty easy way to incorporate him into this. I'm thinking that his first match is going to be against Kevin Knight.
I would assume it's next Wednesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday or against Kevin Knight. We'll see how he looks. I know they're very high on him. Obviously, they signed
Tony
him.
Khan. I'm going to say this, Tony Khan. I'm going to direct my camera. Tony Khan, do not put him in the Callis family. Don't do it.
Oh.
Please.
You think he would turn on Darby?
I mean, everybody turns on Darby besides
That's
Sting.
true. That is true. Yeah, but this is Sting's kid.
I mean, but Sting also, everybody turned on Sting. So like,
has he had enough matches to go on national television and work with Kevin Knight? I mean, is he?
So he started training last year 2 years ago after Sting's retirement. So he's been having a few matches on indies. So like, if they want to just do something for 10 minutes, he's very athletic. Like I'm sure
young, Kevin Knight is of the caliber. He could carry him to
I mean, they trapped Big Boom AJ out there.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, but Big Boom AJ was a wrestler before. Stephen Borden was not a wrestler.
But it was a long time.
Okay. I know we talked. I hate Brian KG. You guys trying to piss me off with Big Boom AJ.
Stop it. You don't like double chocolate chunk cookies?
Fuck him. God, I hate this guy.
How do you not like double chocolate chunk cookies? They're delicious.
I'm not saying. Look, I'm fat. I don't care. I like them, but
that's big boy season.
I don't need.
That's why Kevin Owens is going to win tomorrow.
I don't need those guys on my professional wrestling. Tell them to go back to Costco. God. Oh.
Welcome to Costco. We love you.
It's the pop the crowd, Shep. It's the pop the crowd.
Yeah. Tanner does it on purpose.
It's to get the crowd feeling good, man.
More people are going to know the Costco guys than most wrestlers, so it puts eyes on AEW.
Yeah. How did we feel about the Andrade MJF thing last night?
Would have preferred them to just have a match.
Yeah. And they're not even having like a real match. They're just going to be in the ring for 5 minutes together.
It could be less than that.
To start the gauntlet. Yeah.
Casino Gauntlet, the times are random, so who knows?
Yeah.
How you know?
How you know? I think that was basically it on Dynamite, right? Did we miss anything? I think we nailed everything there. I think we nailed everything.
Yeah.
I
mean, I feel like Jonathan Cruz. I mean, I just want to put out there, I feel like Jonathan Cruz carried a promo there pretty well. I feel like for being Serpentico forever, being a backstage guy, I feel like he stood out there, he looked suave. He just talked with confidence. I thought they were gonna do a little bit of mini program with Andrade there for a minute, but then he got, the shit beat out of him. So, I guess that's what I know.
He's best. He's best known for that Samoa Joe walkaway, where he's just kind of like,
"That's awesome."
Yeah. He just goes
best walk away from Joe, and he has a bunch of great ones.
Fucking hilarious.
It's so good. It's so good. All right, fellas, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. That's going to about do it for us tonight. Obviously, I had to call in the reinforcements, and I know it was a little short notice, so I want to thank the three of you for hanging out with me this evening. We'll start with the Ope-Eh three-way boys. Plug your stuff. Let the people know where they can follow you guys, when your show is, and all that good stuff.
We are at all social medias at Ope_A3_way. We just had episode 100 drop today, so go check that out if you haven't seen it. We had a couple of guests, and we had a good message from our good buddy Big Trouble Ben Bishop to end that show. YouTube every Thursday, new episodes, and Donnie's back on a part-time basis, and that's pretty good because he's Pluggo. He's
always has been. It's like the astronaut standing behind the other astronaut. Like, also, we're trying to boost our numbers up on the YouTubes as well. So don't just go see us, go subscribe to us. We want to run some lives just like this one that you're viewing right here. We want to join the club. So, come on.
Maybe I won't have camera issues. So
come have a beer on us. We're running up a tab.
There we go. Yes, go check them out. They do great stuff. They've been friends of Pluggo and I for a little bit here. They've been on here multiple times. We've done stuff with them on their side of things. So, appreciate you
Shep's
both.
Been there too.
And Shep,
appreciate you, man.
And Shep, obviously, the Kicking Out crew and the Beards. We've had our,
we've been through thick and thin.
We've been through it. We've been through it. But yes, plug yourself, plug your show. Let the people know where they can find you guys.
Fucking JBJ took the championship, put it next to the tuna fish.
I did. I put it right in the fridge. Good, like Charles Montgomery Punk. That's what I did.
I love it. Thanks for having me. Again, you follow me at the Shep27 Main Event Shep, part of the Main Event Wrestling Network. Our show every Sunday at 8:30, Kicking Out Podcast. We talk majority of AEW. We get down some rabbit holes. My fault. I have really bad ADD. So, come follow us. Appreciate you bring me along, JPJ. Always enjoy the Ope three-way guys.
Also part of the Main Event Network.
Also part of the Main Event Wrestling Network. Plug that in. Fun stuff.
Kyle's gonna be mad at me.
Well, hell. We're just a bunch of guys that like to have a good time, talk professional wrestling, maybe a little bit of sports here and there, and have a good time.
Hell yeah. I am all, you can find us here, me and Pluggo, usually every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Love Wrestling, youtube.com/LoveWrestlingCA. You can follow Love Wrestling at Love Wrestling CA on all social media platforms. You can follow this very show at B2 Beards on all social media platforms. He's not here, but you can follow Pluggo at Pluggo_ on all social media platforms because I'm that kind of guy. And then you can follow me right here at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms. Obviously, like I said, Thursdays right here. Sunday afternoons, noon Eastern, me and my pal Auntie Collins have a show over on Fightful Overbooked called Coast to Coast, where we talk mainly pro wrestling, but we talk baseball. We talk a little bit of everything, reality television. We go literally coast to coast. We talk everything over there at noon Eastern. And then on Wednesday nights over on Body Slam net right after AEW Dynamite, whenever it ends. You can find myself, Pluggo, and our pal Drew Nicholas doing Dynamite Up, the Dynamite post show over on bodyslam.net. Once again, thank you three for joining me and filling in for one Pluggo. He also appreciates all of you as well. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to everybody in the chat for hanging out tonight. We appreciate you very much. You guys know the drill. Pluggo and I will see you next week. Until then, say hi to Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Peace out.
Hey there, Pluggo and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. You know, get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you two beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans. Watch yourselves. Knock it off.